So this is all important in order to make a proper business plan. So here environmental analysis is the scanning of the environmental factors, both internal factors and external factors. Very good business planning helps you to take decisions on time and decisions in a very logical and confidential manner. The basic meaning of business plan, as we all know, it's all about deciding in advance what to do, when to do, and how to do it. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Nikhilavati S, Faculty of Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. I welcome you all for the sessions on the subject Entrepreneurship Development, and we are discussing in the third chapter, that is Business Planning Process. So as the chapter name itself indicates, it's all about the planning process of an enterprise or a business. So here in this chapter, we learn about how to plan a business, as well as what is that process which is followed while planning for a business, and what are the advantages of business planning, why we need business planning, etc. So let us quickly start with knowing what is business planning is all about. So the basic meaning of business plan, as we all know, it's all about deciding in advance what to do, when to do, and how to do it. So that's what planning means. Here, a business plan is a formal written document that clearly explains us the nature of the business, as well as its objectives and the steps that will be taken to achieve those objectives. So basically, it's a written document where you are planning in advance, where you will define what is the nature of the business, what are its objectives, as well as what are the steps you need to take in order to achieve the objectives of the business. So next, it acts as a blueprint or a roadmap for starting, managing, and owning a business. So why we need a business plan? Why we need this document? It acts as a blueprint or a roadmap. It guides the entrepreneur where he has to go. What are the next procedure to be done? What are the next actions to be taken? So it guides the entrepreneur to move forward. Next, the importance of trend analysis, where in simple terms, like a business plans also helps us to analyze the trend and decide like what business do we want to start, why is the business being started, and how will the business operate, who are the customers, and how much money is required. So this is all important in order to make a proper business plan. And for a proper business plan, we require to analyze first what kind of business we want to start. So what are the objectives of the business? Who are the target customers? What is the trend that is there in the market? So for every business plan, a trend analysis to be done, and then we should start what will be the product or a service that a business wants to provide to the customers. Next, in the process of business planning, what are the steps that are involved? So the first and foremost step that an entrepreneur should study in every business plan is identification of business opportunity. So identifying business opportunity is the first and foremost important thing, where you will identify what kind of business you have the opportunity to do. So what the type of product or a service you want to do. So based on the analysis, market analysis or a trend analysis, you will come to know what is that opportunity you have to sell something. Either it might be a product or a service. So this is defined by the problems that the customers are facing. So the problems that the customers have or want the solution for. So your product or a service should act as a solution to the customer's problem. Then it's an opportunity for you. So here in the first step, you will find a stable business idea. This idea should be more and more innovative and have, it should be useful to the customers. Next is market and environmental analysis. So once you identified an idea of a business, and you decided to provide as a solution through your product or a service. The next step is to analyze the market condition and environmental analysis. And here, when we say market condition, will it be accepted by the market, or whether there are more number of competitors in the market? So how many number of similar products are there? So you need to distinguish your product from other products. Not only that, you need to analyze the environment. So here, environmental analysis is the scanning of the environmental factors, both internal factors and external factors. So that internal factors of the business environment might be what will be your suppliers, or who will be your suppliers, what are the raw materials you require, what's your product, what will be your skills and capacity, etc. Whereas the external environment, if you start such a business, so how it will be affected by the external environmental factors, like whether it is legal factors or technical factors, the kind of technology that you need for your product or the production of your service. So you will think about the political environment, then cultural environment. So this is scanning all these external factors is very important to know how these factors are going to have an impact on your business. Next is defining business objectives. So the next process in business planning is, once you scan the environment and the analysis is done, then you have to clearly define what are your objectives. So once you define your business objectives, so defining your business objective is important because it gives a clear idea of where you want to reach. What are your target sales? What is your target profit? So what are your target vision, and what are your strategies to meet that vision? It clearly defines your vision and mission of the organization. So that's why defining business objective is very important. So you should have an objective to achieve. Then only you will move in that direction. So next is planning about the product and the service. So here, planning the product means what kind of product, and you have decided what product it is, but the type of product and what are the innovative ideas and the designs of the product, the quality of the product you want to maintain. So you need to be, your product must be unique than the competitors. So how you will make your product more and more unique, or what kind of service you are providing. So what are the advantages or the disadvantages of your product or a service? So how will you attract the customers or the market? So you plan the product here, and what are the production phases that a product moves or a service move. So how will be the pattern of your service, or how will be the pattern of the production of your product? Then you will also define where the quality of the product, as well as you will plan for the raw materials that are needed for your product or the service. Next, we have operational planning. So once you have decided what kind of product or a service you want to produce, then comes the operational planning. So here, operations means to day-to-day activities that is done in the business. So you'll also plan about the operational activities and the operational management, where you'll plan about the number of workforce needed, so the method of working, the working culture, the production system, so the sequence of your service, or the methods of providing that service, etc. So here you will plan about how to carry out the day-to-day activities. So how many number of workers, what will be the machineries that are required, so how much the cost of machineries, the kind of location or the kind of plant layout you require, etc. Next is marketing planning. So here completely you will decide about how will be your marketing. That means it starts from once the product has been produced, then how you will reach the customers. So how your product or a service is going to reach the customer. Here you will define about the different distribution channels, distribution system, your advertising, the marketing skills, the promotional activities you want to carry on. So all these planning will help you to analyze as well as move in that direction where you will be able to market your product in a well manner. Next is financial planning. So this is the most important planning that every business needs, as finance is the backbone of every business. Without finance, you can't do anything further in your business. So a great idea becomes waste if you don't have funds to bring your ideas into reality. So that's how here in financial planning, you'll plan about the financial requirements. So you have decided how many workforce you need, how many machineries you need, what's your investment, everything. So for that, to make all other planning work properly, you need funds. So here you will plan about your fixed capital, then working capital, then what will be the amount that is has to be kept as working capital, what is the investment you need, what is the capital you need, and how you will source the capital. There are n number of sources of funds, so what should be your sources of funds, so and how much of money you require even for managing all other functions of a business is important. So here you will plan about your business, what should be your investors or investment portfolios, etc. Next comes the final stage, where the preparation of the final business plan. So once all these factors are studied, market analysis is done, your financial planning is done, you have decided what kind of product and all those. And finally, at the last step is to prepare a proper document of all your business plan. So the final step is the preparation of the final business plan, where you will prepare a written document containing all your mission, vision, objectives, and planning about the business. So this was regarding the process of business plan. So once you have done the process of business plan, next is the advantages of business planning. So why we need to plan a business? Why this written document is important? What are the advantages or the merits? So why an entrepreneur must plan in advance all his activities? So these are the advantages. First, it provides clear vision and direction. So once you plan your businesses, you set your objectives, goals, vision, everything, your product, the quality, the resources you need. So you have planned it in advance. So it will give you a clear vision. That means vision here, generally vision means what we are able to see. So that means here vision for the business is where the business wants to see itself in future. So it clearly gives a vision to the business through which direction it should move. It also provides a proper direction to the business. Then the mission. Mission is the ways to achieve the vision. So here it provides the business its vision and direction in which it has to move, the procedures that it has to do on a step-by-step process. Next is it helps to reduce risk and uncertainty. So what is risk? Any uncertainty that is caused to a business. So uncertainty, as the word itself says, it is uncertain. We can't define when it will come. So it might come suddenly, or some of the expected risk or some of the unexpected risk. So to meet all these unexpected or expected risk, a proper business plan will help you to plan the alternatives, or it will help you to develop strategies to reduce the risk, as well as it will in advance you can plan what if any uncertainty happens, what if a loss comes, what if you lose money, what if a plan fails, or you will have alternative plans. So this proper planning at the beginning only helps you to take the strategies and the alternative plans in case of risks and uncertainties. So that's how it reduces the risk and uncertainty. Next is it helps in effective decision making. So obviously a very good business planning helps you to take decisions on time and decisions in a very logical and confidential manner, because you have already done the research behind that is required for the plans. So these plans will help you to take better decisions for the future, and not only better decisions properly on time in the right time. So this with plan you can move in a proper way, and which as I said in the earlier slide only, it's like a route map to you. So it will guide you in taking better decisions. Next, it facilitates raising of finance. That means a business plan will help you to raise the finance. As in the business plan only, you would have decided how much of investment you require, how much of money you require, how much fixed investment, how much working capital you require. So based on the planned requirements, you will be raising the funds, and you will also help you to find what are the sources of funds. So, and what are the cost of funds and how you can reduce it. So all through, these actions can be provided through a proper business plan. Next is it ensures efficient use of resources. So a proper business plan helps you to make use of the resources, because it clearly defines first what are the resources you need. And once you have acquired the resources or organized the resources that you need in the organization, that it also guides you to make the proper use of it. So the optimum utilization of resources is possible with minimum wastage, where the works can be done more and more efficiently and the resources are used in a more efficient way. So that's how it ensures efficient use of resources. Next is it helps in performance evaluation. So here the business planning helps in performance evaluation, because here performance by defining what is the set standards. So in the planning process, you would have set the standards for your product and the performance and your controlling methods, everything. So it helps you to compare with the actual plan that is happening. So, or the actual work that is happening. So it helps you to compare with the actual work and the set standards, then any kind of differences or discrepancies in the day-to-day working of the organization, then it helps you to control, and through various controlling methods, and helps the employees to work according to the set standards, etc. And it helps in increasing the overall performance as well as performance evaluation. Next, it supports growth and expansion. So a proper business plan helps you to plan the growth opportunities. After a certain period of time for a business, if the business is running successfully or in a good way, then it has to plan for more and more innovative way for the growth of the business, and it can expand or diversify a product based on the market performance of the product or a service. Then through that way, it helps to growth and expand the businesses. And through a plan, you will also have an idea when to plan for your growths. So, at what target, if the sales reaches to that target, when you have to decide that you have to plan for the growth, etc. So to plan for the growth and expansion is also one of the advantage of business planning. Then it improves coordination and control. So it is very important in order to bring coordination and control between different departments in the organization, between different functions in the organization, as well as the coordination not just between the functions but also between the employees and the employers. So the bringing coordination is very important, as they have to work collectively. Like though the functions are different, the functions of management are different, the levels of management are different, all their activities should be coordinated towards one direction. Then only they can achieve the objectives of the organization. So the main objectives of every organization will be profit making or wealth maximization of its shareholders. So for the wealth maximization, everybody should contribute, and their actions and should be coordinated and directed towards one path. So not only coordination but also it improves control, where you'll also make sure that you are working as per the set standards. So you'll not deviate from the plan. So once if you have a plan, the chances for deviation will be less. So the business plan helps you not to deviate from the plans or the set standards and work in that direction. So these are the advantages of business planning process. So here we have understood why business planning is very important. So business planning, it's all about deciding in advance what to produce, when and whom, and how many resources you require, what are the objectives, vision and mission of the organization, everything. So the process, as we have seen, it included right from the identification of the business opportunity to the proper writing of the business plan. Then advantages, as we have seen, it helps us to have a clear vision, then reduce the uncertainties in business, then it helps the business men to take better decisions, and it also helps us in raising the finance, making use of resources, then finally to coordinate all the activities of the entire organization towards the achievement of the goal. So this was all regarding business planning process, and we have discussed the process, steps, as well as the advantages of business planning process. Hope you all have understood it. Thank you.